Okay, now coming to the next part of it. See, now 1:37, we can finish this. Another 10-15 minutes. Continue panikalama? 15 minutes. Okay. Hey, everybody. Okay, then. For 15 minutes. Okay. Huh? அது என்ன சாப்பாடு இல்ல அவர் இல்ல நீங்க பசிக்குது போல் இருக்கு உங்களுக்கு காரக்குழம்பு தானே அப்புறம் என்ன இருக்கு பிரியாணி இல்ல ஓகே கொஞ்சம் பார்ப்போம் ஒரு 15 மினிட்ஸ் தான் விட்டுறலாம் ஓகே சரி listen equality before I told equal protection of law listen to me see equality before law is a negative right why negative right it is restricting the state that rule of law is there you can't give privilege to anyone நான் சொன்னேன் VIP even the VIP according to rule they will determine if PM or CM wants they cannot give protection as they like okay இவரு எனக்கு தெரிஞ்சவரு இவருக்கு 4 பேர் கண்ணை போடுங்க போட முடியாது set plus that is they all have restriction they all have certain rule just because I am friend of Mr. Modi if I am friend if Modi wants to give me protection simply okay give him some protection give him certain plus and all they cannot for that what I have to do I have to ask someone to throw bomb on my home I have to ask someone to attack me someone to write mails to me that I will kill you then I will show him that then they will give me protection there is a way for everything for that there is a way we cannot simply why rule of law is there okay even just because I have power I cannot give protection to everyone there is a rule for everything okay fine so this is negative concept I am restricted though I have power authority I can't do whatever I want to do I have to do according to law only what is equal protection of it's a positive right law be applied equally is rule of law under similar circumstances let law be applied equally is equal protection of law the difference under similar circumstances law be applied equally what is it court in several cases listen carefully very interesting listen court in several cases have said treating everyone equally at all times breeds inequality treating everyone equally at all times breeds inequality you can't treat everyone equally at all times a differently abled man and a full-bodied man cannot be considered equal in a running race if you are going to consider them equal in a running race and say come on all are equal you both run a race means a differently bodied man it is not equal I am breeding inequality understood or not I am breeding inequality so equal protection of law is what under similar circumstances you everyone equality under similar circumstances treat everyone equally not always to treat everyone equally why I said even reservation you can justify by it even reservation I'm not saying only reservation that's what for you to understand I'm giving this example even reservation how not only reservation women I said why women be given relaxation why it's a matter of 100 rupees can't women pay application matter of 100 rupees can't women pay why relaxation is given why relaxation given encourage okay that's what I'm saying 100 rupee equal protection of law why you can bring it under equal protection of law why the thousands of years of servitude women not allowed to study same thing with regard to Dalit and Shudras thousands of years not allowed to come only Dvija we say means twice born means what twice born twice born caste we are saying or not Brahman Kshatriya Vaishya twice born they are allowed for education Upanayana ceremony would be conducted they are only allowed for education thousands of years of education being denied suddenly you say all are equal come everyone equal women not allowed to take part in any activity you are saying all are equal come take part how is it possible this is what Lyndon Johnson the president of America in 1964 while bringing protective discrimination in America said. In America, reservation called as protective discrimination. What did he say? He stated that you cannot take people who have been held in chains for thousands of years. 1000 ஆண்டுகளுக்கு மேல் சிறையிடப்பட்டவர்களை நீ மீட்டெடுத்து சிறைகளை அந்த சங்கிலிகளை அறுத்து அவர்களை சங்கிலி அற்றவர்களிடம் சிறைப்படாதவர்களோடு சேர்த்து எல்லாம் சமம் என்று ஒரு ஓட்டப்பந்தயத்தில் ஓடவிட முடியாது. அவர்களுக்கு ஓட்டப்பந்தயத்தில் சமத்துவத்தை நீ காட்டுவது மட்டும் சமத்துவம் அல்ல, ஓடுவதற்கு அவர்களுக்கு சில you have to give some, you have to equip them to run. It is not enough to open up the gates of opportunity. You should equip them to run through those gates. இல்லனா அது சமத்துவமே கிடையாது. You cannot take people who have been held in chains for centuries, make them stand in a straight line along with others who have not been held in chains and ask them to run a race. It is not enough that you open up the gates of opportunity. It is equally enough, equally needed to equip them to run through those gates. Why? That's what I'm coming equity. Why? That is what it is. The goal is to achieve what? Yes, if you do that only, women 100 rupees, how are you equating with this? Sir, 100 is not a problem, but even then, what happens many a times, what happens even today? It was thought, generally believed, and it is true also to an extent, women getting economic independence, they will be liberated. A thought. Women becoming economic independence will get liberated is a thought. But in many cases, we are not happening to see this. Many a times we are happening to see women economically liberated. More diverse rate. Why? வேலைக்கு போற பெண்களிடம் டைவர்ஸ் ரேட் அதிகமா இருக்கு. ஏன்? People who go to work more earning, diverse rate is more with them. Why? Mindset change of whom? Men. The problem here is most of the cases, the problem here is what? Patriarchy has not changed its mind. Now it is ready to see a woman work. Why? It needs also money for a luxurious life. முதல்ல என்ன சொல்லுவாங்க, எங்க வீடுகள் எல்லாம் பொம்பளைங்கள் எல்லாம் வேலை செய்ய விட மாட்டாங்க, ஒரு மரியாதை. In our homes and all, women not allowed to work is a respect. Nowadays nobody bothers. Now they say what? How can with one person's earning family can run? Let both persons work. They are ready. But what do they do? They are expecting her to work, expecting her to earn. But that earning is controlled by him. He should control it. And they are also expecting she should come back from work and do the household work. They are adding the work to her. They are not liberating her. They are adding a work to her. Getting it or not? This is mistaken modernity. This is not the problem. This is Dipaknar Gupta, sociologist. ஒரு வேர்ட் யூஸ் பண்ணுவார், அது ஒரு கான்செப்ட். இது மிஸ்டேக்கன் மாடர்னிட்டி. என்ன பிரச்சனை? அறிவு என்பது, படிப்பு என்பது, கல்வி என்பது உன்னை ஒரு பிற்போக்குத்தனத்திலிருந்து, பிற்போக்கு சிந்தனையிலிருந்து விடுவிக்கக்கூடியதாக இருக்கணும். ஆனா உண்மையில அது என்ன பண்ணுது? இங்க நம்ம இந்தியாவுல இந்த சப்கான்டினென்ட்ல உன்னை பிற்போக்குகள் மேலும் தள்ளும் ஒரு கருவியாகவே மாறிவிட்டது. ஏன்? அவர் கொடுக்கிற உதாரணமே இருக்கு. The example what he gives. So education should be a weapon which takes you out of superstition, takes you out of foolishness, takes you out of stupidity, takes you out of regressive thinking. But in Indian subcontinent, it has become one instrument which further pushes you into regressive mode, regressive mentality. Example typically is what? Marriage market. More the steady, more the dowry. If you are more educated, you should be a person who is against dowry more. But more educated, more dowry. Doctor this much, IAS this much, IPS this much, that much, this much. So what education have you got? Mistaken modernity. You are not educated. You have not got what you have got educated. Got it or not? Mistaken modernity. Okay. So the patriarchy's mind not changed. That 100 rupees is not a matter. But even in families where fathers love their daughters, even there, a daughter asking that I need 100 rupees for filling the form, he will give. Certainly he will give 500. And then also put a word, why are you trying unnecessarily for all these things? Why can't you get a dress? Why can't you do that? Why can't you do this? Enjoy your life. You get married. Be free. That word may come. But for the same thing, a son, knowing very well that fellow has got last week only 100 rupees for filling the form, again asking another 100 rupees. And in between, he asked his mother also another 100. And everything went for government. He gave everything to government, he knows. Men are very patriotic. They give back to the government immediately. Government சேர்த்து கொடுக்கணும். 100 ரூபாய் ஸ்டைஃபண்ட் கொடுத்தா ஊர்காவை சேர்த்து கொடுக்கணும். ஓகே, 105 ரூபாயா கொடுக்கணும். அப்பதான் ஒரு மரியாதை. Okay, so the reason is here what? Knowing very well, he will give something he has to do, identity. Okay, do something, he will say. He may scold, but he will say. Why? Mindset. The mindset. So more women representation should come means, first of all, women should apply more. That should be a goal. Understood or not? So first relax this. Leave it. Leave it. Let them first apply. Let us see whether they write letter or first let them apply. Equal protection of law. Got it or not? Under similar circumstances, treat everyone equally. Don't treat everyone equally. Same thing. You put it into other things. People, thousands of years, you cannot come near school. You are unfit, Shudra, Adishudra. You cannot even come for education. Suddenly you say all are equal, education is there means. How can you equate a person? There is something else. See, when we talk about capital, there are multiple forms of capital. One is called economic capital, which we always consider capital, that is money. There is capital called social capital, cultural capital. Pierre Bourdieu says, what is social capital? The network, knowing. You ask someone, that person may be poor, but want to become doctor. That person may be knowing. To become a doctor, you have to write NEET. NEET means these things you have to prepare. Okay, you can go and meet the social networking, what he has got in the society. Economic capital, he may be rich. Cultural capital, the way he is there in a position. Every capital matters. Only economic capital does not matter. So only we also have something called socially and educationally backward. Got it or not? So that matters here. Equal protection of laws. So it's a very wide concept. See, reservation, I'm taking it for you to understand easily. Anyway, tomorrow we are going to take elaborately reservation. But to understand, I am taking this to you. Okay. So equal protection of law, you can justify that also. Such a unique concept. Two opposite ideas fused into one. Now a question may come, sir. When you said SC, OBC and all, you are saying how to identify, sir. Who needs this? How to identify? So identifying, how to identify, that is where this. That's what equity. So the thing here is what? Idea is, the goal is to watch the match. Only give that much of a push that they are able to watch the match. How are they watching the match? So for that reasonable classification. What is reasonable classification? I think I have given in notes, not a problem. So two important points. The group differentiation, the group what you are identifying, to whom you want to give something to uplift them, should be founded on some intelligent differentia. It should not be just like that. Intelligently, you should use mind, the reasoning, and find out who needs it, who is deprived, who needs it. Secondly, it should be rational. It should sought to achieve a goal. By allowing women this free enrollment, you are enabling them to write more. More number of women to first apply. The goal is that. There should be a goal, not whims and fancy. So these two are the points based on which equal protection of law has to be provided. Equal protection of law has to be provided based on these two criteria. Understood or not? Now, listen to me. See here, all fine. I told again and again one thing. See, this is very wide concept, not only with reservation and other thing. For you to understand, I am going to give example. Listen carefully, don't write. Only understand. that it is how wide a concept for you to understand. See, this case, K.A. Abbas Mastan versus Union of India 1971 case. Don't write. Kesla don't write. Nowadays not important. Just understand. See, in this case, he was a film producer, director and all. He was a big Hindi movie producer, huge movies he has done. This Abbas Mastan goes to court and says, in movies, you have censor board. And you censor. What censor kind of certifications also always I used to say when I teach this, kind of censor certifications, please see GK, it can be asked. What do you mean by A? What do you mean by UA? What do you mean by U? What do you mean by Q? There are many are there. So what are the abbreviations for it? What are the full form? Know it. Okay, fine. There is a censor board. And censor board certifies based on what actually? Which movies are given a categorization? That is violence of gruesome nature. Vulgarity, not glamour, vulgarity. Okay. So very obscene, vulgar, immoral kind of things. Most are subjective. Anyway, based on that, they give this certification. UA is what? Both family are. Full form na. Ana or funny item. UA irkla, that is funny item. I don't know. I am still wondering how can they give such a thing. Under adult supervision. Adult should be there to close their eyes or their eyes. Under adult supervision. UA. I don't know the logic. You're watching something, what to do? To explain to them, oh, this is like this. Under adult super, I don't know. Logic itself. Anyway, there, and again, today it is the most funniest thing to have censor board. Most funniest thing. Censor board, a movie, all released to censor board, all they talk. And all OTT channel, everything is coming. Everything in OTT. But movie censor board is strict. What is strict, we don't know. Everything available in OTT. Okay, there is no censor board for OTT today. Anyway, that was 1971. He went to court, stated, for movies, moving pictures, you are having censor board. And you are categorizing all this. So if A symbol means tax rebate and all, they will not get anything. So they say that. And he says it's against right to equality. You are not treating movie with picture. A person paints, they also paint, war paintings are there, blood spilled. You have nude paintings, painting exhibition, nude paintings are there. All these are there. That you are not having censor board. But for moving pictures, you are having censor board. It is against equality before law. He challenges it. Understood or not? Listen. But here the court took the next view and said, no, we are protecting painting under equal protection of law. He compared to this. So that comes under equal protection of law. Wait. Here the court stated that, see, painting and moving pictures and moving pictures are not same. The influence of picture on someone and moving picture on someone is totally different. A picture, you are seeing a nude painting, you are seeing a person. For example, a painting where a person is having a cigarette like this. A painting you are seeing. Same thing. You are seeing a picture in which a person puts cigarette like this. Cigarette like this, catches all this kind of monkey activity a person does. What do you do? ஒரு 50,000 to 1,00,000 பேத்துக்காவது கேன்சர் வர்றதுக்கு ரஜினி காரணமா இருந்திருப்பாரு. நிச்சயமா இருந்திருப்பாரு. ஏன்னா தான் இன்ஃப்ளூயன்ஸ். எப்படி இன்ஃப்ளூயன்ஸ்? இப்படி போடுறது பத்தி நான் ட்ரை பண்றது. இதே ஒரு பெயிண்டிங்ல எப்படி நீங்க பாக்குறீங்க, இன்ஸ்டிகேட் பண்ணாது. Netflix a movie, something, OTT you are seeing a movie, somebody is eating chicken. Immediately you scroll it down, Swiggy, chicken order. We order that. Same thing, you are seeing a painting of a chicken. That instigation is not there. A painting is more of an art. Moving picture is more than an art that instigates you. So painting and this cannot be matched. This needs a restriction. That doesn't need a restriction. There is an equal protection of law for painting. If you bring censor into it, that art form will die. So there you need a protection. Here you need a control. Understood or not? The equal protection of law. So equal protection of law, equality between it's not about people, this one. It's about issues. It's very wider concept. Understood or not? So this way you have to understand this. This way if you understand this, then any item you can see through this lens. So equal protection of law here means what? It is not equality. So the equality concept of Indian Constitution under Article 14, one way says equality, another place says equity. Sir, equity means what? Justice. Equity means what? Reasonableness. Equity means what? Fairness. Equity means what? Equity means equality in similar circumstance. That is equity. Got it or right? So Indian equality concept is a fusion of equality and equity. Equality is quantitative. Equity is qualitative. America have qualitative version. UK has quantitative version. India has both version. We have a fusion of both. Such a wonderful, unique article. We can love this article. The way they have fused both. Hardly you can come across any constitution where they fused this both. Understood or not? So this is about Article 14 here and reasonable classification. Hopefully I will be sending the notes. So see this question 2021 question. Little tricky but not very tricky and all. A legislation which gives a law which gives on the executive or administrative authority an unguided, arbitrary, and uncontrolled discretionary power in the matter of application of law violates which one of the following article? Rule of law. It violates rule of law. Got it or not? Whatever you want to do, you do. Rule of law, first point itself, here we say absence of arbitrary power. A law gives arbitrary power. That is 14 violates. Understood or not? So this again question asked. See, analyze the distinguishing features of notions of equality in the Constitution of USA and India. Whatever I have spoken now itself, you can write that.
Veranda IAS, where your dream becomes reality.